The thrill of NASCAR racing is undeniable, but when emotions boil over and tempers flare, things can quickly take a dangerous turn. In a recent post-race altercation between drivers Ross Chastain and Noah Gragson, NASCAR made the contentious decision not to penalty either side. However, once the decision became final, others questioned whether it would lead to greater chaos and clashes on the track. Join us as we explore whether it could be a sign that the sport is digging its own grave. But before that, please subscribe to our channel and hit the like button for more whereabouts on NASCAR. After the conclusion of the Cup Series race at Kansas Speedway, NASCAR found itself trending. But this was not as a result of the exciting finale that featured Denny Hamlin and Kyle Larson battling for first place. In point of fact, Larson was able to observe the competition firsthand while being interviewed by Fox Sports 1. Following the completion of the race, Noah Gragson approached Ross Chastain in order to engage in conversation with the Trackhouse Racing driver. The moment Gragson got his hands on Chastain, chaos broke out everywhere. Gragson took a blow to the face from the driver of the number 1 car, and the fight was immediately broken up as a result. People have been wondering if NASCAR would give any punishments for the fight on the pit road. On Tuesday morning, Elton Sawyer, the sport's vice president of competition, went on Sirius XM NASCAR radio and answered that question. After displaying a great deal of speed in his number 42 Chevrolet on Sunday afternoon, Gragson was not in a very cheerful mood. The inexperienced NASCAR Cup Series driver found himself spinning down the backstretch due to a flat tire, which ultimately destroyed his day and caused him to finish in 29th place. This occurred as a result of Gragson colliding with a wall in Turn 4. However, not everything was entirely his fault because Chastain went up the track without making touch with him and gave him very little room to move about. It was easy to understand why Gragson would be upset, but Chastain has no reason to feel guilty about anything that happened. The Legacy Motor Club driver said that other cars, like Chase Elliott, pushed Gragson to go beat up Chastain. After that, we were taken to the incident on pit road, which is what garnered attention to the sport from the rest of the sports world. Sawyer went on Sirius XM NASCAR radio on Tuesday morning to discuss the incident, and according to NASCAR radio presenter Claire B. Lang, he stated that the fight between Chastain and Gragson will not result in any penalties for either driver. Honestly, it's the right choice because there's no reason to punish them given the circumstances. Nobody suffered major injuries, and neither side can be held totally accountable for the incidents that occurred both on and off the track. Both drivers are examples of what NASCAR needs to progress in the future. Even though Gragson has what is perhaps the best personality in NASCAR, he needs to win races in order to make a real difference in the way the sport is seen. While this is going on, Chastain has the reputation of being able to do the same thing, but he also needs to win more races. It'll be fascinating to watch how the events of this story unfold over time. But moving forward, one thing is abundantly evident. Chastain and Gragson will see each other a lot, and this is probably just the first of many problems between them. The latest phrase of the month from NASCAR comes from this generation's lightning rod, Ross Chastain, and is definitely something to think about. A few years ago, Chase Elliott and Kevin Harvick had a fight that finished with Harvick crashing into the Turn 1 wall at Charlotte's road course, with an angry and chasing Elliott in his rearview mirror. When asked about Harvick's ruined chances of making the playoffs, Chase wished him and his fans a happy off-season and a Merry Christmas. Within days, you could go to his website and buy the shirt, but that doesn't seem to be the exception. When Derek Cope crashed into Kenny Schrader at Daytona, Schrader told his team, "It's my fault, I forgot he was an idiot." There were no shirts made. Nor when Dale Earnhardt said that he wasn't trying to wreck Terry Labonte at Bristol, but just wanted to shake his cage. Or when Sterling Marlin, who once threw a pair of eyeglasses at Ernie Irvan a week after a crash, called another driver that bug-eyed fool. Or when Darrell Waltrip told half of North Carolina to meet him in a nearby Kmart parking lot to settle a dispute. So far, neither Ross nor his team, Trackhouse Racing, which seems to be in charge of the no-push rule, have said anything. Ross seems to only push on the track, with bumpers or side panels, and sometimes in a way that the person being pushed doesn't like. His current standing isn't precisely exceptional. Over the years, a number of other front-pack racers have also carried a reputation for poor decision-making and/or an inability to handle thick traffic at high speeds. This one is different though, because it comes so soon after Ross's last lap heroics at Martinsville last fall, which made him almost a folk hero and got him to the title final. By the way, that one did make it onto things. Yes, it comes after a long list of close calls with other races, and once you have a bad image, it's hard to get rid of. The DA will add even the smallest change to the pile of proof. Ross doesn't want to go back to the middle of the pack, but life was easier when he was known as an 8th-generation watermelon farmer instead of Reckless Ross. NASCAR must be very happy about all this since personal drama usually leads to more attention. And what a great time to pay more attention! What do you think of NASCAR's decision not to issue penalties? Tell us in the comments below. Also, don't forget to subscribe to our channel and click that bell button for more updates. Now let's take a look at what other drivers did at Kansas Speedway. Denny Hamlin of Joe Gibbs Racing was able to pass Kyle Larson of Hendrick Motorsports on lap 267 of 267 on Sunday afternoon at Kansas Speedway. He took advantage of Larson's number 5 Chevrolet going free off turn 2 and making little contact with the car to win the Advent Health 400, sealing his maiden trip to victory lane in the 2023 NASCAR Cup Series season. Hamlin won his 4th race at the 1.5 mile or 2.414 kilometer 4-turn Kansas City, Kansas track, making him the 9th different driver to win through the first 12 races of the season. He hadn't won since the Coca-Cola 600 at Charlotte Motor Speedway last year, so his win broke a streak of 33 races without a win. Because there are still 14 races left in the regular season, the driver of the number 11 Toyota is not fully locked into the postseason for the 10th straight year. The drivers who qualify for the playoffs are the drivers with the most points at the end of the normal season, regardless of whether or not he wins a regular season race and the next 15 drivers in wins. This means that, at this point in the season, there can't be more than 13 race winners who are definitely going to the playoffs. If, by the end of the regular season, there are more drivers who are qualified for the playoffs than there are spots in the playoffs, the tiebreaker between them is points. After the first 12 races of the season, there are really 10 drivers atop the playoff picture, not just the 9 winners, since points leader Ross Chastain of Trackhouse Racing Team keeps the lead despite having not won a race this year. When it comes to getting into the playoffs, the regular season winner is treated like a winner of more than one race. Hamlin doesn't have much to worry about. Even if there are 16 or more winners, or 15 or more with a champion who didn't win any races during the regular season. He's tied for 3rd place in the standings, which is good for 2nd place among the 6 drivers with exactly 1 win. And he is 73 points ahead of Ricky Stenhouse Jr. of JTG Daughtry Racing in 14th place, who is the lowest placed winner. Other single winners include Joe Gibbs Racing teammates Christopher Bell in 2nd place and Martin Truex Jr. tied for 3rd place, Tyler Reddick of 2311 Racing in 6th, and Joey Logano of Team Penske 11th. Larson, his teammates William Byron and Kyle Busch, who drives for Richard Childress Racing, are all locked into the playoffs because they have won more than once. The Throwback Weekend in Darlington, which has become a custom, is coming up. When the track opened in 1950, pole winners ran about 80 miles per hour. Today, pole winners run about 170 miles per hour. So you can imagine how hard it is when about 30 other people are also trying to get to the top. Ross Chastain is one of them. Fox Sports is giving a smart nod to the past by continuing to invite former racing champions into the broadcast box for the Darlington race in May. This adds to the mood of this week. This year, Kyle and Richard Petty, Bill Elliott, and Carl Edwards will be among the guest speakers. And the Goodyear 400 will be the 13th race of the 2023 NASCAR Cup Series season. It will take place on Sunday, May 14th, which is Mother's Day. It will be shown live on Fox Sports 1 beginning at 3 p.m. Eastern Time from Darlington Raceway. Will there be a 10th different winner? So that's all we've got for today. We hope you enjoyed it. Tell us what you think of the video in the comments below. And don't forget to subscribe to our channel. We hope to see you in the upcoming video.